evolve, become a better version of you, but stay you, the Ali that I love. Stay with me and I can do all of this. We forget that in our relationship with ourselves and in our relationships with other people. And that's why they fail. Welcome to the How to Empower, Create, Encourage podcast. You're here with me, your host, Alessandra Guerra. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you so much for your questions. This topic of playing with fire and going for our dreams, risking getting burned, it's a topic that's close to home for me. I hope you guys laugh as much as Diana and I did. I'm excited to share this experience with you, so turn up the volume and let's get started.
I love your mind. Hey, someone get me a male Alessandra. Come on, bring him in. I'll be like Cusco and Emperors of New Groove, just have them all line up. No, yes, no. Till one of them says, I'm literally your sister, but male version. Oh, okay. Come.
What would a first date be like with you is what I'd like to know. If I were to craft a perfect first date for you, I would include challenges. One of them would be talking to people on the street that you don't know, singing, creating a song and like singing in a park, and then seeing who can make more money out of the song, who can maybe get more people to follow them on Instagram. Another challenge would be a cooking challenge. This is probably near the end of the date where I'm like, I feel like this date has gone well. I want to get a little cozier, get a little bit more romantic and intimate. I would also definitely take you to a karaoke bar. You would really shine.
Girl,
I'd impress you with my voice too. Then you'd be like, oh my gosh, he's not gonna hold me back. He's gonna be the wind beneath my wings. What else?
This isn't playing with fire. This is two sisters dreaming about their first date with the male version of each other. That's okay. That's like we played with fire too much, and now we're dealing with the side effects of heat exhaustion. We great.
I'm dead. Wasn't there a question about heat exhaustion?
Yes, there was. Let's see. Oh, we kind of answered it though. It's along the lines of how can we find support after playing with fire, dealing with the side effects of heat exhaustion?
For me, people make things better. I very much value my relationships with people, with friends, family, any kind of people, even at work. I love talking to strangers. I'm getting sidetracked. My point, this past week, I had a lot of unpacking and errands to do. And what I did is I just made it fun. I invited friends and we just built my bed together. We set up my TV together, the Xbox. We went to get nails and screws. I had a friend come over while I was hanging stuff. People make things better, but that's just for me. I think find whatever makes things better for you. Get that support. I do think everyone needs their people. I think people are really important. Diana is one of my people. She's someone that I love so much, just so kind, so loving, such a healthy relationship. Whenever we have a difference of opinion or a disagreement, it's so loving and it's so tame. Like it's just so beautiful.
It is.
And she really supports me to go for my dreams. And I think everybody needs somebody like that. And not just one person, multiple people. So I think surround yourself with people that are your people, people that love you, people that will believe in your dreams and support you in going for your dreams and celebrate with you when you're going for your dreams and hug you when your dreams aren't going the way you thought that they would.
Yes. Give you your coat when the fire runs out.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Thank you for being that support for me in my life with my struggles, with my dreams. I definitely think you're a support for me.
You're so sweet.
You're so sweet.
I just love you so much.
I love you too much, actually.
I love you in an unhealthy amount. As I've illustrated in this podcast.
You're right. Too much actually would not describe. I'm like ready to take a break from you now. So
we'll finish this podcast and then we'll take a break.
Okay, next question says, kids, teens, and young adults have a lot of dreams. Then as we transition further into adulthood, There seems to be a transition
Adult hole is a hole. So I think you're right. It's a black hole.
How did we manage to do an hour-long podcast last time? And now we're like 20 minutes in and we're just talking weird now. So it says there seems to be a transition from dreams to fears. Paying the mortgage, raising kids, keeping a marriage alive and healthy, careers, etc. I feel like our obligations, which aren't necessarily bad or unwelcome, cause us to grow fears and feelings of uncertainty that dampen our spark. How do we rekindle our flame and then take risks again on unfulfilled dreams or new big dreams when we're in the thick of uncertainty and fear? How do we manage risk and instability like the carefree and uninhibited versions of our past selves did?
Oof, I love that question. It's so profound.
Wow. Reminds me of me today, actually. I was looking at all these obligations and responsibilities I have, and I'm not even fully adulted yet. I'm only 21. Disclaimer. There's no disclaimer. I'm 21 years old. And I have university classes, work, family life, social life, community responsibilities, just a ton of stuff, civic responsibilities. The list goes on and on. We all are going to have a lot of responsibilities we feel that we can't handle sometimes. But I decided, okay, I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to enjoy the nature around me. I'm going to do something that I love for 5 minutes. I'm going to put on a song and dance like a crazy person. I'm going to be a kid for 5 minutes. I'm going to go play with my dog, flip him over and say turtle because he likes to wave his feet in the air, and then play tug of war with him for 5 minutes. I am going to be a kid for 5 minutes. And that just helps me relieve stress, relieve pressure, get my mind back on track. And I write down a list of everything I need to do and I prioritize. And that helps me rekindle the flame. That excites me. Prioritizing, making plans, knowing, wow, shifting my mindset of, oh my goodness, I'm going to fall under this campfire. I'm going to just crash into flames, but shifting it into, wow, what can't I ignite with this bad boy? What can't I accomplish? You need to breathe. You need to be a child again for a moment, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever you need to rekindle that fire. Because yes, there will be days like Alessandra mentioned where you need to go, 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 but you do need that break as well, because then you're going to forget that there's even heat in the first place.
That's very profound. I love that. I love the way your mind went. It's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so cute. She got so shy. There's a podcast called, what is it called? It's with Lewis Howes. Oh, The School of Greatness. He has a guest speaker called Steven Speaks. And Steven Speaks essentially talks about relationships. And he says he will only commit to a relationship with a woman who is committed to a standard of excellence in the relationship. Wow. He expounds on this. He says, I believe people come together and they're drawn to each other. And there's that attraction and that, like, I want to be with you feeling. I will do anything to be with you feeling. And it's amazing. They do all these things that created those feelings. They're a certain kind of person that created those feelings. But then when they're in the relationship, they neglect that. They're no longer that kind of person that had the hobbies, that did this thing or is putting the effort into the relationship. They're no longer the versions of each other that were attracted to each other in the first place, or that they chose, because they're not committed to that standard of excellence in the relationship. It's the same thing with ourselves. There's something that we can do that makes us us. There's certain things that I need to do to be happy and to be fulfilled. I need to go to the gym. I need to work out. I need to walk and be out in nature. I need to build relationships with people. I need to learn, do stuff for self-development, pursue my hobbies, write books. All of that keeps me, keeps me in love with me. If I don't do that, it dies. There's a scene that I'm working on for my second fantasy novel. Well, it's probably going to be for the third one, but there's a scene in my head where Sam, one of the characters in my book, he has to do all of these things. He has to fight this army. He has to go on this journey, just like do ridiculous amount of things for his own progression, but also to save the girl that he loves, that he can't love for very complicated reasons. But there's a scene that I want to write where I want him to realize everything that he's going to do. And I want him to be like, I can do this if she's with me, like if she's still alive. I can do all of these things. Everything that's crazy I can do if she's with me, if she's still alive. She doesn't even have to be romantically with me. She just needs to be alive. Like, then it'll all be worth it. I just need to know that that version of herself is alive, because she has this whole curse thing and she becomes a different version of herself and blah, blah, blah. But he's doing all of these things to preserve a version of herself that has a shot at her happiness.
That's a man.
Right? But we get like that in relationships. I can overcome insurmountable odds if you're with me. That's the being in love part. I think in relationships, we forget that once we're in the relationships, we're not committed to that standard of excellence for one, but that's a whole nother episode. What I want to share now is with ourselves. As adults, we're going to have to do so many things that are exhausting, so many things that are going to push us to our limits. If we were to tell ourselves, I can do all of this if you're with me. If you're with me, stay with me. Don't give up. Don't hide. You know, they're talking about hiding in this question. They're talking about fear. Don't. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay you. Evolve. Become a better version of you. But stay you, the Ale that I love. Stay with me and I can do all of this. And I think we forget that in our relationship with ourselves and in our relationships with other people. And that's why they fail.
Wow. I love exactly everything that you said. The song came to mind. Staying alive, staying alive. We as humans, we have that instinct of survival. So why don't we also realize that we can commit, just like we're committed to staying alive, we can commit to decisions that we make. We can rekindle that flame. I love that book you're writing. Please drop the link. Please let us stay tuned. I'm so excited. You're such an amazing author. I totally agree. There are things that we can be committed to, and because we're committed to them, that is enough to keep the fire going.
Oof, I love that. It is enough. And I think we have to create a fire within ourselves first and maintain those versions of ourselves that were carefree, do the things that they like, and discover new things that we like now in adulthood. There's things I like now that I never thought I would like when I was a teen or when I was a kid, but I honor that. And I think as long as we honor our self-discovery or self-progression, we're still going to find things to be excited about and things to rejoice, even when there's overwhelming pressures. Driving that truck, I have like one experience driving a truck, being exhausted physically.
You did amazing.
And recovering. Oh, you're so sweet. Recovering from a back injury, being exhausted physically, mentally. It wasn't fun, but I had a blast. Like, I know that those couple days were tedious, but honestly, I look back and I had a blast because I was true to myself, to what I needed at that time. And I made time to have fun, even under duress, let's say. So I definitely agree with what you're saying, that we can find ways to keep that fire alive. It was so hard to breathe at some points with all the laughter. I hope we were able to convey some tools and that you experiment with them. Let us know how it goes. We want to know. Thank you for being a part of that and sharing that experience with us. We had a really hard time focusing for the rest of this video. So nope, it's not even a video. It's an episode. We're going to record us answering the rest of your questions another time. Thank you for submitting them. Thank you for creating a space where Dan and I could reflect and give us an opportunity to have a great time and a good laugh. We are not living in the same city anymore. So I really appreciate you guys being a part of that experience with us and sharing that with us. I'd also love if you share with us what helps you be you. What are some tools that help you stay connected with yourself? What are some things you do to keep your fire going? I'd love to hear all about that. Subscribe, stay tuned, and join our community on Instagram under @empower.create.encourage. There are so many things I want to share with you. Remember, you can create the life, the love, the reality, and the world that you want. I believe in you.
Oh, thank you.